My name is Yang Effiong. I'm an engineer by training. I work for Arts and Science. I've been working for the past 28 or more years in various engineering disciplines, starting from IT, design. Now I do mostly risk assessment for Arts and Science. I think it's more like why wouldn't I support Mind Foundation, because I like what Mind Foundation is doing. There are very few NGOs, with no disrespect to the others, there are very few NGOs that are doing things that will actually empower the people that they're working with. And I like the singular message of Mind, which is developing the capacity of the people they're working with. So I like what they're doing is in line with Mind sort of thinking of developing people. That's why I keep wanting to support Mind in whatever way I can. ICT education to not just Nigerians, to everybody in the world. The mode of doing everything now is virtually through one means of ICT or the other. So the better educated and the better, the more information you have and the better your ability to access these tools, the more you'll be able to be part of the society. So what Mind is doing, empowering the kids and the semi-adults to understand, not just use ICT, because people go and type on a computer and that's not really ICT, or people buy a mobile phone and start sending text messages, but giving them the groundwork of what ICT is all about is something that will last the test of time and will give them more and allow the kids of today to be productive in the future. They might be leaders, but if they're not productive, it might not help so much. So that is one of the things that Mind is doing that I like. This is so relevant that I think you should, when you're talking about ICT, the vocational part should also be there. You should have the same level of emphasis as even the ICT, because what's vocational skills is something that another person cannot take away from you. It's not something that you show on a certificate. It's something that you know how to do and you can, more importantly, demonstrate. If you have a BSc in linguistics or if you have a BSc in comparative literature, it's very, very difficult to explain to somebody what that means. If you go to the village and say, I have a PhD in comparative literature, but if you can use your hands, if you have the vocational skills, if you can use the screwdriver, if you can operate the camera, that is something that you can demonstrate at any point in time and you can show people that you can do it. Unfortunately, our society has moved gradually away from people being able to demonstrate what they've done to being able to show a piece of paper and they're sitting down in an office with a tie. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But we also need the people who can work with their hands. Because when you have the ability of being able to work with your hands, or you have a skill that you don't need to show a paper for, it gives you better confidence. So when you're working in an association or you're working in a company, you tend to perform better because you have what I call integral job security. A bricklayer always has a job. So if you remove him from Julius Berger, he walks over to the next big company and says, okay, lay blocks in a line that is straight, and he lays it and he gets a job. So that means he can now have the boldness of telling people, I think this is the better way of doing something, because the skill he has is demonstrable, as against only people believing that, oh, you have a PhD in something like that. So vocational skills, we need to push it. People need to have more confidence, because when you're working with somebody who is confident, it's actually better for you. We shouldn't wait for Bill Gates to come and solve our problem. They have solved their problem, but we shouldn't keep waiting for somebody to come in the sky or coming from Europe to tell us what to do. We can solve a lot of this problem. Let's push it to the level that we cannot move forward again before we start looking for external people. Who is the best person to solve a problem in your house? It's you. If I bring you in, for example, to solve a problem in my office, you probably spend half of the time understanding how this office works before you can solve the problem. So when you bring in external people to solve your local problem, they are first of all going through a culture shock. They have to understand what is good or bad in your culture. But we as Nigerians, if you are talking to me, if I'm talking to Mind Foundation, we are already in synergy. We understand each other from the beginning. So Nigerians should come in and support Mind Foundation and other foundations that are trying to improve our people. Let it be that when you show donors, it will be 90% Nigerian, and then we look for the remaining 10% from outside. So support Mind Foundation.
Thank you.
I think initiatives like Mind Foundation, I want to give them a message of hope that whatever struggles that are going through now, is worth it 10 times because of what they're achieving and what they're continuing to achieve. Bringing people who have not had access to ICT, for example, and in 6 months or 1 year, turning them to people that can operate the system, not send text message like I said at the beginning, is the reward. So you are seeing your reward now, you are not going to see your reward in future. And I know they're going to go through a lot of problems and challenges. They should not give up. Man Foundation is doing a fantastic job, so we are fully behind you. Sometimes we may not be available, but we remember you when we are thinking, and we use you as an example. So we really want you guys to continue what you are doing. And when we now start talking about the top 5 charities and NGOs in Nigeria, I want to see Man Foundation up there.